Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, how lovely are your branches. La-dee-do-do, la-dee-do-dee, da-dee-do-dee, ha-dee-do-dee. Oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, ha-dee-da-dee, doo-dee-da-dee. We did our tree. And look at this ornament that Christina gave us. Who does that? Brandon, it was so perfect. It's so perfect. Who does that look like? Brandon,
What?
I took down the Wayne ornament to show Wayne as a Christmas tree ornament, and then Wayne came walking up and you could see them both side by side. It was perfect. Wayne, do you like your face? Wayne! Wayne, come over here. Wayne, come check it out. Wow. You like your face? That's Christina's ornament that she made us. So we put our ornaments up, all our special ornaments from each year. This one's mine. He's a little bear. And then my what do you call him? I can only think of maraca. It's not called a maraca. The shaky thing, it's up there. And Brandon's ornament, we're gonna leave the tree up for a little while to see if the cats are gonna knock it down before we put his tombstone ornament up, because it could, if the cats knock it down, and then that ornament's made of glass, so it would shatter, and we discovered how many broken bulbs happen when you have cats and if you have glass bulbs. So, that's that. So we did all this, we cleaned the house and did the dishes and put the laundry away and put the tree up. And we watched Die Hard with Brandon's brother and his brother's girlfriend, Kyle and Lorraine. And we made, it's Taco Saturday today, so we made tacos. And, yep. And, so a couple things. So today we went to a piercing shop, and my ear piercing, it's been infected pretty much since I got it. It hasn't ever really healed, and so it just recently started swelling even worse, and the front part of the piercing has been getting bubbly and then shrinking back and then getting bubbly and shrinking back, and now the back part of it's kind of bubbly and it's pretty swollen. And so we went and got the piercing replaced. I'm thinking hopefully if I use a short little stud instead of the hoop that it may heal. We'll see. But then when we talked to the piercer, he's like, oh yeah, it looks like a real big keloid. I'm like, oh shit. I hope not. Because I stay hopeful and thinking that it's an infection and that it will go away over time with caring for it better. But so when he said keloid, from a piercer's perspective, that was a bit stressful for me, and I definitely got a little like, sometimes when people say something and it catches me off guard, it like for example, my boss at work said something the other day, and then I was like caught up in an anxious moment, and I couldn't hear anything else that he said after that. And then the same kind of thing was happening with the piercer, where I just get like, can't focus, like, hold up, oh no, I can't focus on anything else, I'm just filled with a bit of anxiety for a second. And so with the fact that the possibility of my piercing having a keloid, I was able to be like, okay, hold up in my brain. It could be, it may not be. Either way, it is what it is, and if it shrinks, that's completely fine. If it is a keloid, it is scar tissue, it is what it is, and that too is completely fine. And I accept it, and I will continue on, and there's things that I can hopefully do to decrease the swelling or the scar tissue, and if necessary, you can get it surgically removed. Not the end of the world. At least the keloid's on the back of my ear, not on the front. And so I was able to be like, could be, is what it is, nothing I can do about it, there's no point to worry about it, there's no point to stress about it, because right now it's unknown, and this is the only moment that I have, and if it is, I accept it. So rather than being like, oh man, what have I done, like, there's nothing I can do, how can I fix it, this, that, blah, 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 but just to accept something rather than to dwell on it. And I caught myself just a little bit ago, I was just on Instagram, and I thought I don't know why, I guess curiosity, I went to the COG Anonymous Instagram page, and it's interesting that I chose to do that, even though I know that I'm just curious if what they were gonna say next. But so I read their latest post, and it ticked me off, which is entirely silly. And then I was reading through I actually read the whole post for whatever reason, and then I read the comments a little bit. I was getting all like, grrr, oh, these people, why don't they just leave if they're so unhappy in the church that they go to? Just, why do they fucking leave? Like, it's just crazy that people stick around trying to make something work and make something better when it just sucks and they're unhappy and they're disappointed and feeling rejected and shamed, but then they're sticking around. And so I was just like, oh, I want to say something, grrr, grrr, oh, that pissed me off, oh, this, oh, that. And then I was like, nah, that ain't worth my time, it ain't worth my energy. And it's interesting enough that I put myself into a spot where I was intrigued enough to read it for whatever reason, just out of curiosity, even though I knew it would piss me off. I guess I didn't really know it would piss me off, I was just curious, but it did. And and so then I realized, like, after I was like, no, there's nothing I need to say, there's nothing I need to do, I don't need to get in an argument or debate with these people, because they're completely, it's fine for them to think however they want to think and have whatever opinions they want to have, and it's completely fine, and that doesn't mean that I need to immerse myself in it. Doesn't mean that I need to try and debate my viewpoint with them or say any comment like, oh, just leave. And then I realized, like, it's completely fine for everyone to have their own perspective. Then I realized, holy shiz, I was getting like super unconscious and like irritated about something so trivial. And it's not trivial, but I mean in a sense it is trivial, because these people, they're letting themselves get unconscious by saying all this stuff and like making posts about how unhappy they are. But I mean, that's what I'm doing with my vlogs, so it's no different what I'm doing with my vlogs, talking about how I feel, so them talking about how they feel, it's completely fine. And so I was like, wow, I'm getting so caught up in this, in their drama, and letting myself get all immersed in it for a moment, and letting myself, or catching and realizing, wow, I was unconscious, getting aggravated, and why am I getting so frustrated about what these people think, like, because I was realizing, I'm offended, or I'm irritated by reading this, why am I irritated? And then, so it was interesting to see that happen, and then also then see that I am irritated or offended, and then to be like, oh yeah, that's a thing that can happen. happen. You can get offended by someone, but that just means that I'm taking it personally. And then I was thinking, why am I taking it so personally? And of course I realized that I'm taking it personally because I have a very strong opinion about that. What the fuck? Brandon?
Ghost.
Tell you weird stuff happens in this apartment.
I'm reading Star Wars too.
And I'm here talking about being conscious. What the fuck? Is it still doing it? Or is it you?
Well, the switch was slightly turned upward, so it was like just at the point.
Was it?
But that was weird.
So it was slightly on? Wayne went over there, he was getting scared by it.
I don't know.
Whew.
That was weird.
Making my heart.
That was weird.
So it was slightly pushed on?
It was not pushed on, but it was not pushed off. It was like right before it ignites, so like right there. That's just the slightest touch. But for it to turn on and off the way it was turning on and off, that's
Eerie. Whew, eerie. Is anybody here? Yeah, I did. Well, and I mean, Wayne went over there, and then I was like...
No wonder why Mowgli don't like that thing.
He's just chilling, though. I thought you were in the bedroom. Eerie.
I was like, why are you playing with the lightsaber?
No. So when stuff like that happens, then I'll feel around in the space, and then I feel if there's any cold spots or weird things of energy and stuff. So, interesting little diversion. Definitely got my heart skipping a few beats. So guess that completes my talking about my being aware of my unconscious moment, because now I can only think of something I read earlier from... Now I'm forgetting what I read. Oh. It was from Be Here Now, the book that Kefren got me. I spent time reading that today as my self-help therapy stuff. And something that a quote that I thought was interesting. I made a whole bunch of post-it notes on it. But one that I remember in relation to what just happened with that lightsaber is that there are no accidents, there are no miracles, and that reminds me too of how Stanley tells me that he doesn't believe in coincidences, and so if there's no accidents and there's no miracles, and everything just happens as it's meant to be, and everything just occurs as it should happen, and then to view existence and the things that occur as though the accidents are meant to happen. Whatever happens that's an accident, say, for example, my uncle, he got his leg cut off in a lawnmower, and now he has one leg. It's an accident. But what why did that happen? So what has changed in his life because of that instance that occurred? Or I was in a car accident. What has changed in my life because that instance occurred? Well, I can't speak for my uncle so much because I'm not around him all the time, but for me, I have neck pain chronically because of that car accident. What has changed because of that? Well, my first job when I worked at Wendy's when I was 16, I quit that job because I had totaled the car, and then my parents didn't want me to drive, and then I've gone to physical therapy for my neck, and Brandon's taking care of me because of my neck pain. Perhaps my neck pain has contributed to the pain in my hands. If it's a pinched nerve or something, they don't seem to think it is. But so what has changed because of that? Go get him, Gretel. And then miracles. I don't know what kind of miracles that have taken place for me. Okay, here's a miracle. My niece Hope, she's able to walk. She has spina bifida, but she can walk and stand so well. And that feels like a miracle. And that's definitely changed a lot for my sister's family and my family, because we have someone who has special needs in our family. So if there's no accidents and there's no miracles and everything just happens as it's meant to happen, as it's destined, determined, the universe wants things to unfold, then that'll allow you to accept things. And embrace things as they actually are, rather than trying to be like, oh, this thing should have never happened. It doesn't matter if it did happen. Be sure to like and subscribe. Wonder what kind of ghostly supernatural encounters will happen next. I should take you guys on a ghost hunt sometime. Show you more of how I communicate with spirits if I encounter them. Maybe someday that'd be interesting if we went to that one bridge where I had a supernatural encounter. It was a mountain bridge on the river loop. It's really interesting. Alright, so Merry pre-Christmas, and good night. I love ya.